It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, I've got a list of things to talk about because, once again, this was another week of waiting. Lots and lots of waiting on things to arrive. Remember back in the day, you used to be able to go to a store and actually buy stuff? Well, maybe those days will come back. Maybe one day those days will be here again. Before we get going on that list of items, though, I do want to figure out, I'm still trying to figure out the best way to kind of highlight both the people and the companies that support this channel, support us, support this hobby. I want to mention Randall Ellison put out a video that is available for everyone to watch. He went and visited Iron Planet Hobbies, and that is the hobby shop that sponsors the channel. It's where I get all my DCC stuff, but also started getting a lot of rolling stock and stuff from them. These are some Bachmann N-scale cleaning cars that I got from them, but you'll see if you watch Randall's video, they've got all kinds of stuff. So the code's scrolling across the bottom, but I like, I like supporting the companies that are supporting us. And I just saw a spelling error in my list of stuff, and it just really bothered me. So I had to fix it. But hope everyone's doing well. This is my second to last live stream of 2023. And this is my second to last live stream that's going to be on Tuesday nights. Live streams moving to Wednesday nights starting in 2024. We'll see how it goes. I did a full year's worth. It wasn't 52 because I think I skipped one, maybe two. Now I'm not sure how many I skipped, but I didn't do all 52 weeks, but I did almost 52 weeks in 2023 on Tuesdays. So next year we're going to switch it up a little bit. we're gonna move off to Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. I did get some stuff in the mail this last week. I'll talk about what I did get, and then we'll talk about later what I didn't get, and we'll see how that goes. But one of the things that I did get is I unfortunately missed picking this up in the bookstores. I don't actually subscribe to Classic Train, so I had to get it separately. But I wanted to get this because it has a story on New York City's West Side Line, and it's just about the New York Central. And while my layout is not a, New York Central prototypical layout per se, it is definitely based on it. So, it is what it is. I just realized for whatever reason um, my thing wasn't scrolling, so I was missing some of the comments. So one of the things we did learn, yeah, so Iron Planet Hobbies, the way I met Ryan was all virtually again. Ryan has a YouTube channel called Iron Planet Hobbies, and he was doing a lot of videos on DCC setup type stuff. And I, reached out to him. He was extremely helpful to me in picking out my DCC system that I was trying to figure out at the time. And through that, just, built a relationship. He's just always been very helpful. So when I reached a certain point where I wanted to start being able to provide for the community, I reached out to him and I said, hey, like, is there anything we can do? So he's been offering a fantastic discount to everybody for a good long time now. Specializing in a lot of DCC stuff, but he's really, really been expanding lately. He's got Athearn. He's got, does he have Athearn? He has Walthers. I don't remember if he has Athearn. I think he's working on Athearn, but he has Walthers, Bachmann, Microtrains, Atlas, all the decoders, TCS soundtracks, ESU, Digitrax, NC. He's got all the stuff there. If someone actually wouldn't mind looking for Randall's video and just post the link up so people can find it. It is a long video. It's over an hour long, but Randall really goes through aisle by aisle, pointing stuff out. So in addition to this magazine, so one of the things that I do, and I was talking to somebody else and they said they do the same thing, but in order to make shipping worth it, a lot of times I will, instead of just buying one thing, I'll buy a second thing. So this is the other magazine that I got along with this one. And I couldn't remember for the longest time why I got this magazine. And this is October, I think it was, October of 2017. So it's a much older one. I think I got it because of the street running. I didn't just want to pay shipping on one item, so I got a second item. I don't know. It is what it is, but that is how I do it. So that's one of the things that I got as well. I have started to do some work. I guess, I don't know how well, I don't know if you can see the big difference behind you or if it all just looks the same to you guys, but this is actually new. This is the little lighting valence that I put up that actually kind of hides all of the lighting that is up on the shelf. It's about 4 inches. I'm thinking of going to 5 inches just to give a little bit more coverage, because I can kind of, yeah, you can kind of make out, you can kind of see some of the units sticking out just on the bottom. And I think I don't know, I think it would be good as well. So that backdrop, so I made that to go behind my time saver puzzle. I cut that out myself, put it up on foam core. It's completely out of scale, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So I kind of did that. Yeah, right now I have the overhead lights off, so the only thing that's on are the lights over the layout, but it gives a nice frame to the layout, which I really like. Along with putting up the window valance, I did also start painting the cameras black. So this is the usually this part here is white. It comes white. Just using a little spray paint, I spray painted them black. I have a bunch more to go. I did the ones that were kind of the most, obvious, the ones that were kind of in the front, the ones you saw the most of. I'll have to do a couple more as well. It looks good from there, from Oklahoma. That's good. I hope so. Yeah, from here it looks fine, but I've got like a box car right here in front of it. And if you look at the height of the box car, you probably can't see in that camera. And I don't have another camera set up yet, but yeah, I know. I've got how many cameras, and I'm saying I don't have another camera set up. Let's see if any of these cameras work. There we go. So you can kind of make out the height of the box car versus the height of the building, and it's completely way out of perspective, but it's still good. I still think while I haven't been making the improvements that I want to make on the layout, I think I've been making some decent progress, which I'm happy about. No King Kong in the backdrop. I did not add him, but yeah, it was a fun little project. It took a lot longer. Yeah, once I pointed out, it took a lot longer to cut that out than I thought it would. And if you really know the skyline, you can see the areas where I have cut things off. Like there are little details on the roofs that in that small of a scale I just couldn't keep and just chop them off for the sake of chopping them off. They will not be a part of the final build for this. I essentially just brought them out just as a little bit of a filler, just to give a little bit of an extra something to look at until I progress a little bit farther and actually have something interesting to look at behind me. So that's just temporary. It's not going to stay. Roofs or roofs? That is a good question. I don't know the answer. All right, so Dennis, that is a good question. As of now, my plan is, because my bench work is at 52 inches, the plan is that the touch screens are going to be in front of, basically blocking where the subway train is. And you can see I've actually got a tablet right here. You can get a sense of the height of it. It's kind of at a good arm's height. But what I am looking to put into the valance is, I've been trying to come up with a way of doing a fast clock solution that is just a very simple little LCD display, a little, just a simple little display, just the stuff. So you can buy like the Logic Rail fast clock, which is what I do have, but it's got a much bigger sort of presence to it, and I wanted something a little bit smaller. So what I got was, well, what I found out is there are a couple of ways to do a fast clock. My plan is to use the fast clock in JMRI as my JMRI server. And the JMRI server, fast clock server, already puts out the information over the Y throttle protocol. So if you look up the JMRI Y throttle, you will see that there's a fast clock like code within that. It's a little more than I want to do. And in talking to some people, they said that having all those little touch points through Y throttle are probably going to increase my traffic more than doing it a different way. So what I'm going to try and do is I found somebody that has a MQTT fast clock that listens to the JMRI server. Long story short, what I am planning on putting up on the Valence are some small 7-segment displays, and those 7-segment displays will show layout time. Whether it's a fast clock or whether it's something else, that's what I'm going to do. You could have a Times Square light manor on the Valence with all kinds of information. I wish I could program that kind of stuff. I wish I could, but no. So Dwight, John didn't get any wiring done while he was here, and actually forced me to do the wiring, and I had some issues. John was sitting behind me working on wiring up the motorman and got absolutely nothing done. So I wired it up over the last week. I learned 2 things. One, if you're gonna have a sensor really far away from the motorman, the ground for the sensor needs to be the same as the motorman, so you do want to just run your 3 wires. If people haven't heard me talk about the Iowa Scaled Engineering motorman, you haven't been paying attention on my channel, because it's one of those things that I just don't stop talking about. I think it is one of the best $99, $100 you're going to spend in this hobby. I love having it. So I hooked it up. I ran the wires around for the sensor. I decided to run 2 sets of feeders. And I ran 2 sets of feeders just because of the length, and I just thought it would be better. And I'm using Kato Unitrack. So I'm like, okay, things... I just saw Split Rock's comment. Every time I say the motorman, take a drink. So I'm using Kato Unitrack, and Kato Unitrack has blue and white wires. And instead of doing like my own wiring or whatever, because it was such a small little thing, I used the feeder input track things that Kato has. So I put one on this side of the layout, and I put one on this side of the layout here. They mirror each other though, right? So the feeder track is in the same orientation on this side as it is on this side. What I didn't take into account was that because of the way it curves around, this one should have been in the opposite orientation as that one. So when I was trying to wire it, I would have thought the motorman would have showed a fault, but it wasn't showing a fault. It just wasn't working. So that was kind of a bit of a thing, you can say. It just, I couldn't get it to go, and it was bothering me. So yeah, as Hot Dog Pilot Andy says, the Iowa Scaled Engineering motorman, the trade name or whatever they call it, it's a ping pong module. Essentially, it sends a like a little trolley or something. That's funny. It sends a little trolley back and forth. It works in DC and DCC. Last week I was running a DCC locomotive on it. This week I am running a DC trolley on it. This DC trolley is actually the trolley that got me back into the hobby. I purchased this trolley back in 2019 to have it go around the Christmas tree. So that was my old Christmas tree. Andy, you have heard me say the motorman. You have heard me say that. David, it's $125 now on the website. It goes when they get them in stock, they disappear incredibly quickly. So you need to jump on them if you see them come into stock. They've given a discount code to me because I won't stop talking about them. So if you use the discount code HUMAN, HUMAN, only for the motormen on the Iowa Scaled Engineering site, you get $25 off. So it ends up being $99 instead of $125. Even at $125, though, I think it is a fantastic deal. And while it's not a New York City subway, I figured the trolley would be kind of an appropriate thing to run. It's interesting that you say that. It reminds me of Mr. Rogers' Dennis, because I mean, I grew up watching that trolley, and that was my favorite thing about that show, was when the trolley would come out. And I just thought that was the absolute best thing. So yeah, I now have a trolley as well in my life. So full circle, I guess. Full circle. This lighting too, I'm actually kind of impressed. It's probably going to fall down, but I installed this lighting right before the show because I was like, I want to show off the trolley. I don't want to have to turn all the lights on just to see the trolley. I wasn't sure what solution I could use, and then I remembered I had this LED strip. I'm going to need to find some clips or something to hold it up. The sticky stuff on it doesn't stick very well, but it's working, and you can see the trolley, so that's a good thing as well. Oh, that's cool, Andrew. I'm in an N-scale group that sets up at shows, and I scratch built a trolley on a Kato tram chassis. That's cool. I have a couple of small projects as well. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get to them, but this is a Tommy Tech powered unit, and these are some R62A printed subway cars. So the eventual goal is, instead of that trolley running around, I'm going to actually have some R62A, which are MTA New York City, the 1 train, the red line, the IRT line train. So yeah, James, I just saw that you have 0 projects going on. It's a shame, but I'm sure you'll come up with some other projects. So another thing I've gotten into is, people post up things on Facebook every once in a while. And yeah, that's my train too, Andy, the 1 train. So I'm alive. More importantly, you're alive. Well, I guess it's important that both of us are, or it would. So I was on Facebook and I was poking around, and you guys know about DCC EX, or I'm sure a lot of you know about DCC EX. It's basically an open source DCC project, and I've always been interested in it. It's a kind of a budget way to get into DCC, but the feature set that the current iteration has is really incredible, and it runs off of an Arduino Mega. There's another drinking game for you, Arduino. So I ended up, there's a guy, I didn't want to build it all myself and put it all together. There was a guy that was putting together the kits. So I got a 5-amp motor shield, and it's got the Arduino Mega in the background. So this is a DCC-EX command station. And I got it because, for a couple things. One, I think I want to use it for some layout animation stuff. So instead of using my main DCC command station, I will have a secondary DCC bus that comes off of the DCC EX unit. I know, right? I know, Dwight, I know. So I'll have a second bus come off of this, and I'll do my animation off of this. So there is this board as well that I got with it, and you can hook up to 16 servos to this board. It's primarily designed to use them as switch machines, but I think I'm going to use them to try and like animate things. Things? Yeah. So we'll see. So partly it's for that. The other thing I'm thinking about using this for is a more portable, I'm blanking on the word, a more portable programming station. So this is a, a fully complete command station. So I think I might work on using this as well to do that. So couple projects, things going on as well. Let's take a look. Okay, we talked about the magazines, talked about the cameras, talked about the valence, talked about DCC-EX, talked about Fastcock Solutions, talked about the Motorman. More wiring. Let's talk about more wiring, because I figured out a mistake that I made in the wiring. And when I say I figured it out, one of the things that I really appreciate about this community is that you can put stuff out there in the world and people will help you solve problems. And I think that's fantastic. So I was talking about a problem I was having, and I had identified where the short was located. I've got a lot of wires on this layout. It's going to take me a little bit of time to troubleshoot all of the wiring and get it all working correctly. All of my wiring is very specifically color-coded, so it should be easy to trace stuff if all of your wiring is the same color. I wish you the best of luck, but I have a short, and I was talking about it, and I was talking about like how I'm going to turn the power onto things to try and, isolate any issues, because there are so many wires in my setup that if I do have a short, I'm going to need to, split it up and everything and whatnot. But so I was talking about the problems that I had, and I knew that the problem was related to the MP5 switch machines and the DCC wiring that I had going to the MP5 switch machines for my frog wires. I would love dead rail. Dead rail would be fantastic. I don't know how soon dead rail is ever going to come to N scale. So being N scale, I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to keep building. If it shows up for N scale, great, but I think it's a ways off. Dennis, I don't think there are any specific color codes. What I did, though, is I created a list so that all of my color codes would be the same. Anything that is a red and black wire has DCC running through it. Anything that is a blue and white wire is for feedback. So it's some sort of low voltage feedback setup. I've got yellow and brown for my 5 volts. I've got orange and brown for my 12 volt. And I think that's basically everything I've got. I've got a 12 volt bus on the layout, a 5 volt bus on the layout, a DCC bus on the layout, and then there's all the feedback stuff. So that's how I did it. I kind of just figured out what colors were available and made it work. So I did not do blue and white for DCC, but blue and white is very common for DCC because Kato Unitrack uses blue and white for DCC. It is actually, the one caveat is the Motorman. I am using blue and white wires for the motorman because that's Kato Unitrack for my DCC, but those wires are run completely separate from everything else, so I should be okay and not have any problems. Oh, that's the other color, green. Green for frogs. Green, I am told that it is a law that you have to use green wire for your frogs and that no other color is appropriate. Rusty, it's funny you say that because the company that I get the wire from has a little disclaimer that sometimes the color of the insulation might be slightly off. So the green wire that I have, some of it is different colors as well. Yeah, green for frogs, it is the law. Yeah, if you have a lot of Kato Unitrack, it makes sense to use blue and white. I always think of, because of the world I come from, that red and black is low voltage, and it's probably the easiest color wire to get is red and black, so that's what I'm using for my DCC. But as long as you know what you're using, yeah, Roy, if you do that, that will be wrong. I'm just kidding, but I like Kermit the Frog. But yeah, I'm gonna print out, once I get things cleaned up a little bit more, I'm gonna print out little cards that I'm gonna tape underneath the layout, and I'm gonna tape them under the layout and have it, list what the different colors are as well. But yeah, that was the one I forgot about. Frog wires are gonna be green. I haven't wired them yet. So what did I do wrong? Here's what I did wrong. If you look at aux 1 and aux 2 in this picture, those are the single pole double throw switches. And what I did wrong is, for whatever reason, when I was looking at this, I thought that the single pole part of this was the center wire. So I wired everything with the center wire as common, and then the switching the polarity was going to be the outside too. But if you look at this diagram, you can actually see that I think I have to do this. That this one here is the center one, and that these two are the other two poles. So I need to now get in there. Now that I've got all of the wiring neatly tied in under there, and I am going to have to go and switch these two wires and these two wires on all of the switch machines. Now, luckily, it's only 6 wires. I mean, sorry, 6 switch machines. So it's 12 wires. But I figured out now, at least, where the short was coming from. Haven't solved it yet, but I'm gonna get to it as well. The only reason I haven't bought larger spools of wire is I don't have a lot of space. In hindsight, I should have bought much larger spools of wire. But yeah, so that's the first short I found, which I thought was kind of interesting. I'm glad. Oh, and as I said, I figured out what that short was through conversation. Roy Eltham was involved in that and kind of put the idea out there that maybe I wired the switch wrong, and I looked at it a little more closely and realized that I wired the switch wrong. Luckily, the command station that I'm using has really good short protection, so it immediately showed the short. So I was able to disconnect one of the wires. The short went away right away. So I I inadvertently figured out exactly where the issue was. I just couldn't, I just couldn't figure out what to do to solve it. One of the other projects that I started, I like to have something to do while I am sitting on the couch upstairs. I try not to bring like stuff up, right? Like, you know, a good couch project might be putting resistors on wheel sets or, you know, checking coupler heights or something like that. I try and keep that stuff down here in the train room and just do some computer stuff upstairs. So one of the things that I have been working on is I am giving a program called Albion. Well, the company is Albion. The program is called Ship It. And I have started I've started entering information into it. What you're looking at right now is all of the rolling stock that I had in my inventory file imported into Ship It into what they call Railbase, which is their database system setup. Ship It, I'm giving it a try. I'm still giving it a try. Uh, Ship It makes JMRI seem like it is intuitive, but the reason why I am using Ship It over JMRI is that JMRI Operations Pro only outputs to switch lists. I, through the various layouts that I've been fortunate enough to operate on, have really enjoyed car cards and waybills. Um, I just enjoy the tactileness of car cards and just the way they work and the way cars move. And JMRI Operations Pro doesn't output to it. But Ship It has a companion program called Car Cards, and with that companion program, I can output waybills directly from the program. And I want to give it a try. I want to see if I can get it working. It's a lot of database entry. The database that Ship It uses is a older format and older style. I mean, you can kind of see just from the, you know, from the graphics and stuff that are used that it is an older looking system. So it's taking me a little bit to figure it out, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try it. I'm going to push forward, see if I can get it to work. So Derek says, Heath, you're making me nervous. I thought DCC was so much less wiring, but you have tons of wiring in not so big of a room. Okay, so I am doing block detection. I am doing feedback for switch machines. I'm doing some things for like animation and for some other things that are completely unnecessary to do. They are things that are not in any way needed, but they are things that are a part of the hobby that I enjoy. So you don't need all this wiring. You don't need any of this wiring. But I enjoy this part of the hobby, so I'm giving it a try. Dennis says, have you experienced the phantom short yet? You know, the one that you can't find then disappears 3 days later. So far, I've been very fortunate that I haven't had one yet in the first build that I did or in this one yet. But I suspect, I don't think I'm going to have phantom shorts. What I think I'm probably going to have are some phantom detection things going on. But, you know, it's all part of it, right? I mean, it's all kind of, I don't know, it's all, you know, it's all kind of stuff. It's all, you know, I don't know. Andy says that big stack of cards is nice to hold on to while juggling a radio and controller with your fifth hand. I don't disagree. I've got this vest. It makes me look like a complete and total dork when I am wearing the vest, but the vest has a little hook right here, a little like thing. When I'm wearing it, this goes on my shoulder. I'm just gonna put it on because, you know, I like looking like a dork for everybody. I'm a dork. I own it. I'm a nerd, maybe more, but yeah, yeah. I'm just getting to some of these comments. Yes, do not use my example. But so this, if I can find it. So I usually will just clip the radio right here. So I don't have to hold on to the radio. I can just push the button and talk. You know, I can listen. It's right here. It makes it easy. This vest too has some really big pockets here. So you can just take and just, you know, take your throttle and just throw it in here when you don't need to hold on to it. And it's got a bunch of other pockets as well for, you know, whatever you might possibly need so that you don't have everything in your hands. Yes, Dennis, that is very, very true. I have very few model railroad pins, but now that you say that, I should look for some model railroad pins to put on the vest. I do have my my little name badge. I do also have a name badge for the club I'm a member of. So I agree that this is fashion as well. I think this is high fashion. I'm trying to make it a new thing. I haven't worn a hard hat, but I think I did mention this is a hat that I wore when operating on a Civil War layout. Need a fanny pack visor and Crocs to complete that. Look, you're probably correct that I do. I have a speaker mic. That was just the first radio I could find. When I have my radio with the speaker mic, I put the radio in this pocket here and then clip the speaker mic up there. But it does work very well just putting the radio there too. Like I haven't had any issues. Unboxing, yes. You have a mini Prince pin. I do have a mini Prince pin. If you haven't noticed, I've been like rearranging stuff a lot lately, and I found it the other day. I was looking through some stuff and I found the mini Prince pin. I don't remember where I put the mini Prince pin, but the mini Prince pin is with my Amherst 2023 pin. So when I find the one pin, I'll find the other pin. Heath, will it fit 4 pencils? It'll fit hundreds of pencils. Yeah, put your radio between your knees. Exactly. I have one model railroad pin, a nice one from Lynn McCurdy in the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club. No pocket protectors, unfortunately. You can buy your own probably and do that. You know, if I had a pink shirt to put on this vest, I think it would go very well. This is a reddish shirt, so it's in the pink spectrum. I've become a well-dressed man. I don't know about that. If you asked my girlfriend, she would tell you that I am incredibly awkward in my dressing choices, and nothing I ever put together like matches or anything. I do. That's a good point, Bernard. I'm trying to remember. They could be in one of those mugs up there because I put a lot of stuff in the mugs. Although I think they're in one of the boxes downstairs. I definitely still have them. I know that for sure. But yes, I should get those on the vest. Yeah, they're probably with a probably with the banana. I have Jub. I have not. patches. I wanted to find a place that could make Riverside transfer patches, and I haven't found uh, anywhere yet. Yep. Well, and that was the plan. I actually have. So this is the vest I just showed off with all the pockets. When I operate the next time on a Civil War layout that I'm hoping I get invited back to, I'm going to wear this vest. And this is kind of a tweed vest or whatever. It's got, you know, a pocket for the pocket watch. So this will be my my Civil War era operations vest. Whereas this, I think this is like a fishing vest. It used to have a panel that went up the back, so the back wasn't mesh, but you know, I'm always indoors, so I just cut that panel off. I don't need the extra warmth of it. It's kind of dorky, but you know, it works. Striped vest, yeah. Oh, that's, you know, kind of. Just don't wear a gray hat. Is this hat? This hat's black. I think it's black. I don't know. What's a gray hat mean? I don't really know what gray means. For patches, try gelsman. Yeah, so Denny actually made this hat for me. So he could make them. I just haven't reached back out. It was, you know, it was on my list and then it wasn't on my list. It just kind of like, I don't know. Question, in the op sessions you take part in, how important is the fast clock? Is it more important on some and less on others? If so, why? There are 2 layouts that I've been to that use a fast clock. One of them does timetable and train order, and the other one uses the time clock primarily for the passenger service on their layout. So those 2, oh, gray hat is the south. Shows you what I know. That's what I thought. That's what I thought he was saying, but I wasn't sure. So those 2 layouts, the time clocks are very important. One of them uses an old analog time clock system, which is kind of fun. The other one just uses, has like monitors, like actual computer monitors hung up around their room that he uses. So for my setup, I don't think the fast clock is going to be very important for the running of the trains. What I think I'm going to want the fast clock for is for the lighting. I've said this before, so I know I'm saying it again and repeating myself, but it's important for me on my layout that when people come over to operate, they have a sense of time, space, and distance. So the lighting is one method that will give them a sense of time and time changes. Another method, I think, will be the fast clocks, and the fast clock time will match up with the lighting time. And so yeah, so it's like everything else I'm doing on my layout. It's another layer. It's not necessarily a layer that is needed. It's another layer that gives me something something fun to integrate, and something fun to give just a, you know, another just another element to everything. But so as people know, I've been waiting on wire. I've been posting a lot about not being able to finish this section right here because I've been waiting for wire for so long. And the unfortunate part is, as I've been waiting for wire, I keep working on other projects, and then more junk and more junk and more junk just keeps piling up on the bench work. And that's been a bit frustrating, but it's kind of been the way things go, right? It's like any flat surface ends up collecting stuff. While waiting for the wire, one thing I do want to share with people though, because I think these are fun, I was using this little stubby screwdriver to get into little small spaces. And it was a little hard to kind of like, twist the thing and do the stuff and whatever. So I found this one, and this is a little ratcheting one. But what's nice about it is it's got little grabby things. So if you need a screwdriver to get yourself into small little places, I would look for something like this. This has been this has changed the game for me, I think. So check it out, give it a try. I think it's worth it. I think it is fun. And that didn't work. I don't know why that didn't work, but that didn't work. That was very disappointing. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Everyone's like, what do you mean nothing worked? Well, for whatever reason, the super chat didn't work. And it's not working out. Well, pretend the super chat thing went off, and we'll figure out why it didn't go off. But I want to thank Roy Container Man for adding some gifted memberships. I am providing for members at this point. I'm doing photo updates. So I've always kind of said that I'm not going to put videos and stuff behind the paywall, but between live streams, what I've been doing is just posting up some pictures. So members have seen the valences and stuff previously, and now I'm showing them to everybody tonight on the stream. But if you are a member, you will see some of those picture posts as well. Have you showed all your wire management widgets? I'm currently interested in wire management tech. I have not. I primarily use lever nuts and plastic cable tie stuff, like these little stick-on little things. But I can take some more pictures of those and share that around. I think it'd be easier if I did that. I can't hold on to those little screws. I live by Weehaw. Yeah, the Weehaw stuff is nice. This one is great. This one's from Powerbuilt. It's got a 1/4-inch drive on one side, and then the other side is for replaceable bits. So you can really put any bit you want, and it's ratcheting. So if I can figure out which way. Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear it, but it's ratcheting, which is fantastic when you're in a small little place as well. Yeah, Lynn, Home Depot is wire, but it is crazy expensive. That would be hilarious. Do I really only have 4 likes? That would be pretty crazy. P-clips. Yeah, I'm not using P-clips. Mostly I'm just using plastic cable ties for everything, and I'm just being really anal and whatnot and stuff with that. But doing what I can to move forward. So one thing that is still missing that was supposed to be here Friday is I ordered a special. I think it's special. I think it's good. Wow, are there really only 11 likes on the stream? Now I just saw Barry point that out. That's pretty wild if that's true. I see 35, but what do I know? I just ordered 2 turnouts for the new passing loops. Likes aren't refreshing lately from YouTube lives. Oh, well, there you go. There we go. Now they're picking up a little bit at least. That's good. Yeah, YouTube sometimes is weird. So one of the things that USPS still has, it was supposed to deliver last week on like Thursday or Friday. It hasn't delivered. Hopefully by next week I'll have it. It's a new train to run on the subway track. I got it because it is more specific to the area that I'm modeling, but it's just going to be a placeholder until I can actually get the subway cars painted and set up and stuff. So USPS still has that. Hopefully I will be getting that shortly. The other thing, the wire that I order it from someplace that's not too far away. It's in New Jersey. I'm in New York, right on the New Jersey border. So it should theoretically be quick to get to me. Usually it takes like 2 days to get to me, usually very quick. So it shipped on, I think, Monday or Tuesday. On Wednesday, it was in New York City. And then on Friday, I think it was, when it was supposed to deliver, it scanned into Austin, Texas. So for whatever reason, my wire went from New Jersey to New York to Texas and back to New York. So I finally got the wire. This is what I've been waiting for. I didn't just order 2 though. I did actually order 2 more. So I've got, if I hold them this way, I've got 2 reds, 2 blacks. This should get me through the project. Hopefully I've got 1 more detection zone to wire in. Then I've got all the switch machines to wire in. And then this section will be done. I'll get all this put together. I'll get this flipped over. I'll get everything. Basically, I will get all of the pre-wired wire done. And I can't begin to tell you, like, the wiring, I'm about a month behind from where I expected to be, but I'm getting there. I'm trying to take my time. We were talking about shorts and stuff earlier, and you know, shorts are a real deal. And I'm trying to avoid having any shorts. Part of the wire management that I'm doing is so that if I do have a short, it's very easy to separate the layout into sections so that I can identify which part of the layout is providing the shorts. So having this wire is a big step, forward. I'm very frustrated that I haven't been able to work on it for the last little bit, but I'm glad it's here now. And if this, so here's the thing to look out for next week. So next week on the live stream, keep an eye out for what orientation this section of the layout is in. If the orientation of this section of the layout is still in this orientation, Keith is probably going to be a little bit frustrated. But if this section of the layout is flipped over and you don't see any of this stuff on top here, Keith is probably going to be very, very happy. Let's see if this even works. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try this one. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try this one. Well, that didn't work. I was trying to bring up one of the other cameras that was more on this section of the layout, but that didn't work. It seemed like every camera that I tried to bring up wasn't showing it, but here you go. Now you can see it. Let's move these magazines out of the way. So yeah, so keep an eye on this section. Next week, hopefully you won't be looking at this side. Hopefully next week, we'll be looking at the other side, and it'll be good. It'll be good. Yes, Heath is referring to himself in the third person now, and yeah, I do like shorts in the summer. If you don't know, it's about 100 plus down where Marty is right now, so I am going to guess Marty is either in an air-conditioned room or definitely wearing shorts as well. I don't need to go to Home Depot anymore because I've got the wire I need now. And I'm very happy that the wire finally came. Reverse image track plan on the bottom. Yeah, there's no track laid yet. That is step 2 of this process. Pre-wiring is step 1. Step 2 is going to be the track. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am going to jump off right now, though. There is another show that is starting up momentarily, and that is Second Section. I am sure they're going to have a fantastic show, which they always do. Next week is going to be on Tuesdays. Mini Prince, I think, is... No, you're not tomorrow. Mini Prince is not till 2024. Can you believe it's almost 2024? Oh yes, this is the track plan. This is the track plan, but it's just written on. So next week I'll be on a Tuesday at 8 o'clock. The week after that, starting in 2024, I will be on Wednesday nights. But you know, just keep looking for me. I'll be around. From the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about